Good afternoon, super friends, and welcome to the Wednesday, February 18th edition of the Sacred News and Weather. I'm so delighted to have you here. Today's channeled message, it may be in two parts. They may flow together. I'm going to see where we go or where I end up going with it, but I wanted to bring forward something that came to me for me this morning. I basically got a smackdown from Spirit this morning, and I know that some of you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to share my own personal Firehorse, like first full day of Firehorse smackdown with you because it's still like running in my system right now. And will be as I unravel and unpack my own layers of work for myself. I'm going to share that part with you, and I'm also going to share what came through for the collective. I know that they're related. I don't know exactly how they're going to weave together, so we'll find out how they're going to weave together. If you're new to my channel, welcome. As with all messages that I deliver, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. As I like to say, I'm not in the business of putting people in boxes. I am here to set you free. So if you're not finding yourself here, go ahead and turn me off. If you are tuning in present time and present space, February 18th, awesome. But if you're tuning in at a later date, it's likely going to be for a reason. So these are timeless messages. Don't pay attention so much to the date if you are tuning in, especially later, because if you are drawn to the title, if you're drawn to this message, there's probably going to be something here for you. All right. So, my personal smackdown this morning, I saw a very specific image of something that happened over the weekend. It was Valentine's Day, which I am not someone who ever celebrates Valentine's Day. I don't think I've really truly celebrated one in 30 years. The last one I remember, I was 21 years old and I was in New York City, and my delightful boyfriend at the time, I don't even remember what we did, but I know we went to dinner, and I just remember walking home from the subway and he pulled a bottle of champagne and two glasses out of his very big overcoat. And I thought it was about the sweetest thing ever. So that is the last like visceral memory I have of a positive Valentine's Day. And from there, I'm pretty sure they were all ugly enough that I was like, oh, we're never doing that again. And I blocked out those memories. This past weekend, I am in a relationship where I was absolutely delighted to celebrate for the first time in 30 years. And I kind of messed it up completely unintentionally. But what was supposed to be a beautiful gift to me on Friday evening, I ended up turning into some weird, creepy transactional thing because I wasn't ready to give him his gift because it wasn't ready yet. And I was like, no, 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 let's wait until Sunday. And then our paths didn't cross and it was a mess. And I heard this morning in meditation, the way that you receive love is the way that you receive money. And I was shown that whole snafu this weekend, which, by the way, was not a big deal. I mean, it was in the moment, but it was not. But my partner did a beautiful job of calling me out on what I had done inadvertently. And he was not wrong. And Spirit today was really bringing forward my ability to receive, which is what I really want to bring forward to you in sharing my own personal story. So many of us, so many of you tuning into me come from backgrounds of very conditional love where your needs were not met on a daily basis. Again, no shame or blame to our families of origin, no shame or blame to our parents who were very likely doing the best they could with what they had. And if they weren't, we'll cross that bridge at a later date. We were unable to receive the love we needed as children. And because of that, we have developed all sorts of ways and means to protect ourselves. And one of those ways and means, and my personal trajectory was just fierce trauma-based independence and the ability to give and give and give and give and give until I die. And then to crash and burn when I actually need something because I set myself up to fail because there's no room. There's no room. I've created such little room in my life to receive. I just like keep plowing forward and keep giving and giving and giving. And I've created such little space to receive that I don't even know how to do it when it is being offered to me in a very beautiful way. And I'm outing myself. Of course, I've done healing around it, but I'm outing myself. And I got smackdown today because I know that there is someone in here who needs to hear this today. The way that you receive love, whether it is in the form of a gift or service or a hug or a kiss or let me do that for you, the way that you receive or don't receive love is directly proportional to the way that you receive money in your life. And so for me, I've left behind a lucrative career and I'm off on my own now, creating a business, which is largely successful, though I am inviting in more now, especially with the energy of the fire horse coming forward. But the way that I'm going to create the abundance I desire, the way that I'm going to earn the money that I need to sustain my family is by receiving, by opening myself up to receiving. And I've got some work to do. And I suspect some of you do too. Recognizing that spirit does not understand transactional love. Spirit, divine, God, goddess, whatever your name for that higher power, even if it's just the highest version of myself, that my unwounded self, my non-egoic self, doesn't need to be divinity, though if you're hanging around here, it probably is some form. Divinity knows nothing of transactional love. It only knows, spirit only knows unconditional love. And when we self-limit what we are able to receive in unconditional love, we self-limit what we are able to receive in all forms of abundance. When our systems are wired, pre-programmed to work our asses off for pennies, for breadcrumbs, for a pittance versus abundance, when we are wired to gut ourselves, to give of ourselves before we receive, that is signaling to spirit that that is what we love, that that is our work in the world, that is how we operate. And when we want to create something different for ourselves, we need to recognize that it is not just the decision, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to work myself to the bone. Okay, that's step one. Choosing to do something different, choosing to not overgive, choosing to not overwork yourself, choosing to be in rest, choosing to be in peace. That's step one. But step two is really allowing yourself to be praised, allowing in the pleasure, allowing the gifts, allowing the flow to come all the way in to you. And I recognized this weekend that that is not what I was doing, that I was putting off my receiving so that I could give with, right? No, I can't take that now. I can't receive that now because I have to be able to do that with you or we're not equal. We created a transaction, right? Which is how humans work, which is how systems work. Systems work transactionally. You give, you gut yourself, we'll give you the pittance. We are setting ourselves up for something different here in this space. I am setting myself up for something different in my life, and I am inviting you to step into something different in your life. When someone gives you a gift from the heart, we are meant to receive it. We are meant to say, thank you. This is beautiful. This is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Doesn't mean that you don't have to give a gift, or it doesn't mean anything about what you give. It means allowing yourself to fully receive. And it was so clear to me, of course, after my partner called me out on it. And then this morning, after Spirit gave me the smackdown, like, you want this? Open to that, open to pleasure, open to receiving gifts. Normalize receiving gifts. Normalize receiving in your nervous system. What needs to be unwound? And the visual was like literally like pulling a ribbon out of like the spiral into center of my heart, like pulling an old black ribbon, a ribbon that somehow got placed when I was a child, likely, maybe multiple ribbons as I unraveled them, kind of tied up like, oh, in that relationship, oh, in that relationship, oh, in that relationship. And it wasn't the relationship, it was me. It was me not creating room to receive, not creating any space in my beingness to allow someone to step in and help me, to allow someone to step in and give to me, to allow someone to step in and love me. You want money? You want more money? Open to receiving. Allow that energetic movement of pulling that old black ribbon, that ribbon that doesn't serve you any longer, to pull it out of the spiral. Do you guys hear my dog? She's making very sweet little grunting noises right now. Allow yourself to pull that ribbon out, allow it to be removed from you, to create the space, to create a pathway for the abundance to come all the way in. That's the energetic work that I was doing on myself, that I was then doing on our collective today, was removing that ribbon and then widening the space in the spiral to the center of our core, the spiral to the center of our heart, the spiral, that's the way I visualize it anyway, the spiral deep into that point of connectivity where our soul meets our humanity, really unclogging that pathway of receiving. And I'll tell you that it feels really vulnerable. It is not it is not comfortable. It is not wholly comfortable for me to have this pathway open. It makes me feel like, oh shit, I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get hurt with this pathway open. But my work to receive is to keep this pathway open. And my work for this collective is to keep this pathway open for you, to help you keep this pathway open. And so the next place that I want to go is actually leading from this open pathway that makes me a little nervous and makes me feel a little vulnerable, and like almost gave me a panicky feeling this morning when I first did it to myself. I will tell you that I don't often do energy work on myself, but when I recognized that I could give it to the collective, see what I did there? It's much easier for me to hold it. It's much easier for me to do it. So I could move back and forth between the unraveling in myself and the unraveling in the collective. And because I'm tuned to giving to others rather than of myself, I made it easier. And then I had to come back in and recognize, oh no, it's okay. You can do this for yourself. This is part of the medicine. This is part of the work. The next place I went for the collective, and I can see now where they're connected, is the imagery was of the Fool card. But the fool is it's the zero card. It is the very beginning of the journey. It is the very beginning of the fire horse. So it's totally apropos that it came forward. We are in a new frequency. We are in something new. We are about to, the fool in the traditional Rider Waite has his little like his little hobo satchel. All of his worldly belongings are on a pole in a little handkerchief being carried behind him, and he is about to step off a cliff. And it can be seen as a foolish choice, of course, but this was not the way that I was embracing the energy of the fool today. The invitation with the image of the fool coming forward today was to not get caught up in the destination, in the outcome, but to just keep moving forward and trusting that we are on the path and that the path is for us, regardless of the way and the location and the end of the journey is. And so there's very much that feeling, especially when everything was spacious and vulnerable here, still is. When everything is spacious and open and vulnerable here, we we want to protect. And so we don't want to take that next step. We want to be like, ah, I need to know where I'm going before I take the next step. And with that full energy, we are being invited to surrender the outcome, to surrender the outcome to divinity, to surrender the outcome to spirit, to surrender the outcome to the highest version of yourself, to surrender the outcome and take the next step anyway, and take it with this open, spacious, beautiful, ready to receive heart. Because it's when we feel it, it's when we get like this, it's when we need to know that we get really clenched. We hurt our bodies start to ache. We don't know where we're going. We want to control. We get really tight, 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 tight. We want to control. And that's not what we need right now. We need to keep this open. We need to keep this spacious. We need to keep ourselves ready to receive. And we need to trust that each step we take is the next right step, regardless of the destination. And we need to trust enough that even if the next right step proves to be a misstep, it is still the next right step because that's where we ended up, and there's something to be learned there. So that is part of my own medicine, again, that I'm sharing with you, because part of me doesn't want to open myself to receiving because my body knows that it's usually disappointed when I open to it. But with what we have shed with the wood snake, with what we have left behind, it is now time to move forward with this big, open, clear pathway to the center of our hearts so that we can receive the love we deserve, so that we can receive the abundance we deserve and also need. There's something sticky in there too. And I don't feel it necessarily personally right now, but I feel it more collectively. That stickiness between I already have so much and there are so many people without right now that I it's selfish to want more. It's selfish to desire more love. It's selfish to desire more money. It's selfish. It is not selfish to desire more money. People with money, good people with money, do good things with their money. And so there's real work that wants to be done in this collective as well around surrendering the belief that having money leads you to do really sordid, horrible things in the world. We need people like you who are tuning into this channel to be in your full abundance, in your full wealth, to counteract what is happening out there, to counteract the toxicity of the patriarchy, to counteract the toxicity of money in the wrong hands, to counteract the toxicity of scarcity so that we get grabby. You are not going to get grabby if you have money in your hands. You are going to get more givey because you already are an overgiver. You're going to get givey, but you're also going to receive the money and give it to where it is needed and keep enough for yourself so that you can stay in overflow and not be scarce yourself. I feel like I went all over the place today, but I feel like it was exactly where we needed to go. I feel like I touched upon like four different groups of folks who are in this collective. Some of you who are very much like me, and some of you who are just like you've removed the thread, or the thread is already removed, but you needed to grab other pieces of what was here. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I did give you some personal details from my life today, which is all good. Whatever way the message wants to come across, I'm here for. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and share and subscribe. I'm going to have some offers coming forward for some one-to-one coaching, for some one-to-one energy healing sessions, which are a little bit different. Coaching is one part talking, one part energy work, and then we stay in communication as you evolve through the energy work that I did. Our one-to-one energy sessions are shorter. They're usually about 30 minutes. They're usually remote, and we talk to one another via whatever your preferred app is to communicate, whether it is, I use Voxer for my clients, but I can also use Telegram, I can also use WhatsApp, and we'll stay in touch for a few days after that energy attunement to see how you're doing. Those offers are going to be coming soon to you, coming through to you soon. Right now, my kids are off from school for a winter break, so I'm going to go be with them. Mwah. I will see you maybe on Friday. I'm traveling with the kids. I will be not at home. We'll see if I get here. I would like to get here, but if you don't see me on Friday, you'll definitely see me on Monday. All right. Bye bye. Thank you.